Hello, hello, hello. Hi. Hi everyone. How are you doing today? I hope you're well. I hope you're doing well. Um, welcome to a new Spanish lesson. Today we are going to talk about demonstrative adjectives and pronouns, okay? So before we get started, don't forget to subscribe and also click on the bell icon so you can get notified every time I live stream. You can also visit smlessons.com for more free Spanish lessons, to download free crossword puzzles and more. I have a bunch of links in the video description down below. So please just check that out if you want. Also, I want to give a big shout out to this channel's members. To our cerveza members, KS and William Lopez. Thank you guys. The cerveza is deliciosa. And also, thank you so much for the support. Another big shout out to our Cafecito member, Keith Pearson. Thank you, Keith. The coffee is delicioso, delicious. I wanted to say delicious and delicioso at the same time, so I got confused. But thank you so much, guys, for the support. I really appreciate it. And if you want me to give you a shout out and for more perks, we have a bunch of perks on this channel. So check out the memberships. You only need to click on the join button down below. So yeah, we have a new thing, and now for Cerveza members, a new perk. For Cerveza members, and we can actually have a video chat for every lesson, so for every exclusive live stream. So if you are interested in that, just check out the memberships. Click on the join button down below. Okay, excellent. Also, another way to support this channel is by giving the thumbs up. So if you like what I do, you can support me or support this channel that way as well. Okay, so remember, we are live streaming, so you can use the live chat. I see some members online. KS, welcome KS, bienvenido. Also, welcome Will, bienvenidos. And I see that you guys are sharing some Spanish. KS says, oye, ¿cómo va? ¿Algún los mujeres quiere siempre estar mandón? Okay. Este es su canal de YouTube. Okay. So thank you so much for sharing some examples. Also, you're using today's Spanish word of the day, mandón. So thank you for doing that. Just some minor mistakes there. I would say, algunas mujeres siempre quieren or siempre son mandonas, okay? Mandonas. And I disagree. Well, some women and some men can be bossy, right? So you never know. But thank you for sharing that. KS also says, este es su canal de YouTube. I would say, este es su canal de YouTube. Yes, that's a little better. Thank you for sharing. Will says, no me gustan personas mandonas. So great example. I would say, no me gustan las personas mandonas. So yes, that's a great example. I don't like bossy people either. So that's a great example. Thank you for sharing. Mandonas. Yeah, okay. I see that you corrected that there in the second message. Thank you. Pero también no me gusta Madonna. Ha ha ha. Okay, so we're talking about Madonna now. Madonna? That's interesting. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, so let's get started, guys. As I was saying a few minutes ago, or seconds ago, we are going to talk about demonstrative pronouns and adjectives. So this is very important to learn if you're learning Spanish, because these words will help you identify or demonstrate certain things, okay? In Spanish, these are called pronombres y adjetivos demostrativos. So you can say pronombres demostrativos, that's demonstrative pronouns, or adjetivos demostrativos, okay? Demonstrative adjectives, okay? So I just added pronouns and adjectives because they're pretty much the same thing. It depends on how you use them, but essentially we're going to talk about the same words, and I'll show you how they work in different situations, okay? Now, we have three types of demonstrative pronouns and adjectives, okay? And they have to match the gender of the noun that you're talking about, okay? Also, they can be singular or plural. So you have to pay attention to the grammatical gender, because we need to keep everything uniform. And also you need to pay attention if that thing that you're talking about, that noun that you're talking about, is singular or plural. So please pay attention to that. That's what Spanish is famous for. You know, grammatical gender and singular and plural pronouns and adjectives. So yes, that's very, very important. Chris Martin, mi también. Oh, interesting. Thank you for sharing, Chris, and welcome. Okay, now there are three different types, okay? The first one is este. Este can be a pronoun, and it can also be an adjective, a demonstrative pronoun or adjective, okay? So we have masculine este, feminine este, and plural as well, okay? So este means this, and if este is a pronoun, then it means this one. So the first meaning is the adjective version of este, and this one is the pronoun version, okay? So that's how it works. Now, este is masculine and singular, guys, okay? So keep that in mind. Este is masculine. It can mean this or this one. And esta is feminine. Este masculine, esta feminine. It also means, esta means this or this one, okay? Estos is masculine, and it means these, okay? Or these ones. Now we're talking about plural and also masculine. So keep that in mind. Estos, these ones, and it's masculine. Also, we have a feminine version and plural. Feminine and plural. Estas. This means these or these ones. Same meaning as estos, but one is masculine and the other one is feminine. Now, I remember that some of these demonstrative adjectives / pronouns, some of them have accent marks, but nowadays it's now okay to not use the accent marks, okay? So that makes things easier for you guys. So forget about the accent marks. You don't need them, and it's okay because that's grammatically correct. So don't worry about that. Now, let's look at some examples, and we'll see how este can be a pronoun or an adjective. Okay, so just one sec, I need some water. Okay. Now, the first example is quiero este pastel. Quiero este pastel. That means I want this cake. So you can use este if you have something close to you, or if you have people also close to an object, or in this case, pastel. So if you are in a short distance to, if you have the cake close to you, then you can use este, okay? Este pastel, este pastel. So that means I want this cake, this one. Okay, now, here's the tricky thing. If you want to, if este can be a pronoun if we get rid of the noun, okay? For example, you are really close to the cake and you can say quiero este, okay? Quiero este. And that becomes, este becomes a pronoun, okay? But if you have the noun in the phrase, then este becomes an adjective, okay? So that's the big difference between the pronoun and the adjective. Quiero este pastel. I want this cake. Now, if you have a feminine noun like computadora, because pastel is masculine, by the way, el pastel. Quiero este pastel. That's why we have to say este, okay? Now, if we're talking about a feminine noun like la computadora, then you have to say esta, okay? Esta computadora. Quiero esta computadora. And that means I want this computer, okay? I want this computer. That's what it means. If you say quiero este computadora, that's wrong. Wrong. So you have to say quiero esta computadora, okay? Let's make everything uniform. If we're talking about feminine nouns, you need feminine adjectives, feminine pronouns as well. In this case, the pronoun is esta. So once again, if I get rid of computadora, if I don't have computadora, I could say quiero esta. Quiero esta. So if you were talking about computers, you're in a conversation and you're talking about computers, right? And you have a group of computers next to you, you can say quiero esta. Quiero esta. I want this one. That's what it means. I want this one, okay? So that, in this case, this is a pronoun now, okay? That becomes a pronoun. Quiero esta. I want this one, okay? Now, once again, if we have the noun in the sentence, then esta becomes an adjective. Quiero esta computadora. I want this computer, okay? So that's the difference. That's the big difference, guys. Now, let's talk about plural situations like pasteles, okay? So we're using the same sentence as the first one. I mean, like the first one right here, we have the same sentence. And now we're talking about cakes, okay? We don't want one cake. We want many cakes, okay? So you can say quiero estos pasteles. Estos pasteles. This is the noun pasteles, and that one, it's still masculine, even though we have a plural form. It's still, that word is still plural, and that's why we have to use estos pasteles. Quiero estos pasteles, okay? I want these cakes. So keep that in mind, masculine and plural. If you say quiero este pasteles, that doesn't make any sense. If you use estos, then that's perfect. You can also say, once again, if you want estos to be a pronoun, just get rid of the noun because the pronoun replaces the noun, okay? So if you're talking about cakes, constantly cakes, and then you don't want to sound repetitive, right? So you can say, quiero estos, and that means I want these ones, okay? These ones. And that's important to know. That's important to know. Now, we're talking about computers again. And yeah, plural computers. You know, we have more than one computer. Las computadoras. So, feminine and plural. Then you have to use estas. Quiero estas computadoras. This means I want these computers, okay? Feminine and plural. Now, if we get rid of computadoras, then you can say quiero estas. I want these ones. Quiero estas, okay? So keep that in mind that este can be a pronoun and an adjective. So that's very important to remember. Este means this as an adjective, and this one, este means this as an adjective, and this one as a pronoun, okay? So yes, sorry about that. Any questions? Do you have any questions, guys? Okay. Will says, esta persona está diciendo algo. Perfect. That's perfect. Yep, that's correct. ¿Qué es? Me gusta este canal. Perfect. Yeah, it's all perfect. Awesome. Thank you for sharing, guys. Now, that was este. Now, the next one is ese. That. Or that one. And we have the same situation. Ese can be an adjective and a pronoun. If ese is an adjective, then it means that. And if ese is a pronoun, then it means that one. Okay? Same rule, same thing. Now, different meaning though. Different meaning. Ese means that or that one, and it's masculine, okay? Masculine. Esa is feminine, and it means that or that one. Esos means those or those ones, and it's also masculine and plural. Esas means those or those ones, and it's feminine and plural. So the same thing here, guys. Just make sure to use feminine or masculine or feminine singular, feminine plural, masculine singular, masculine plural, okay? So we're using the same examples, okay? So you focus more on the pronouns and adjectives, okay? So, quiero ese pastel, okay? That means I want that cake. Now, ese is different than este, okay? Both are different, and ese is used when you have something a little bit far away from you, okay? It's far. And you have, the situation can be, or you can use this in a situation where you're far from the object, but someone else could be close to the object, okay? So if you're buying something and you have to point something out, like I want that, then you can use ese, okay? Ese essentially means that and that one. So you can use ese just as you would use that or that one. Okay? Now, quiero ese pastel means I want that cake. Okay? Ese is used here because pastel, once again, that's masculine and singular. Ese pastel. And that's the meaning. Ese means that. Now, if we're talking again about a computer, then you need to say esa computadora. Once again, that's because computadora is feminine. La computadora. Quiero esa computadora. I want that computer. And remember, guys, that if we get rid of the noun, because you don't want to sound repetitive, then ese and esa become pronouns, okay? Quiero ese. I want that one, okay? Quiero ese. Or quiero esa. I want that one, okay? Quiero esa. I want that one. Excellent. Now, if we have a plural situation, quiero esos pasteles. Quiero esos pasteles. This means I want those cakes. Okay, those cakes. Esos, masculine and plural, and it means those. Now, quiero esas computadoras. Quiero esas computadoras. That means I want those computers. Okay? Esas, feminine and plural. If we get rid of the noun, then esos and esas become pronouns. Quiero esos. I want those ones. Quiero esas. I want those ones. Okay? One is masculine and the other one is feminine. So that is very easy, I believe. You just need to remember ese, masculine, singular. Esa, feminine, singular. Esos, masculine, plural. Esas, feminine, plural. Okay? So that's very easy. Can get confusing though. Excellent. Now, okay. Okay, now let's move on. Let's talk about aquel. Okay, aquel, that's the last one that we're going to talk about. Aquel is used, it also means that and that one, okay? The difference is that you can use aquel if you are far from the object, any object, and someone else is with you as well. So both people or more than one person people are far from the object, okay? So you have you're really far away from the object, you and someone else, or because usually you use these words if you want to demonstrate or point out what you want or what you're talking about, okay? So if you're with someone and you guys are far from an object or a thing, then you can use aquel, okay? That means, or it's similar to that or that one. Once again, aquel can be an adjective and a pronoun. If aquel is an adjective, then it means that. And if aquel is a pronoun, then it means that one. Okay. Will says, can I say, ese pastel está una... No. What? Usually you use that expression with the verb es or ser, nor don't use it with estar. Ser. And also you usually say that to people, not to things, but you could, but just make sure to use the Spanish verb ser, not estar. Because otherwise it sounds kind of odd. But yeah, ese pastel, that's correct. That's correct. Okay. Now, aquel. Aquel is masculine. Aquel, masculine and singular, and that means that or that one. Aquella is feminine, and it also means that or that one. Also, it's singular. Aquellos is masculine and plural. It means those or those ones. And aquellas means those or those ones, and it is feminine and plural. Okay, so now let's look at the examples. Quiero aquel pastel. Quiero aquel pastel. This means I want that cake. Aquel, masculine, and we're doing that because pastel, once again, that's masculine and singular. Aquel pastel, that cake. Now, same thing. You can get rid of the noun, and then aquel becomes a pronoun. Quiero aquel. Quiero aquel. I want that one. Okay? Quiero aquella computadora. Quiero aquella computadora. This means I want that computer. Computadora, feminine and singular. And that's why we use aquella. Aquella computadora. We can get rid of computadora and say, quiero aquella. Quiero aquella. I want that one. Okay? Same thing. Quiero aquellos pasteles. Quiero aquellos pasteles. That means I want those cakes. Okay? Masculine, pasteles is masculine and plural. That's why we're using aquellos. Aquellos pasteles. Those cakes. Then, if you want to use aquellos as a pronoun, then get rid of the noun, and then you're saying, quiero aquellos. Quiero aquellos. That means I want those ones. Okay? So, remember that. Quiero aquellas computadoras. Quiero aquellas computadoras. This means I want those computers. Computadoras is feminine and plural. That's why we're using aquellas. Aquellas computadoras. Those computers. Okay. Get rid of computadoras, and then aquellas becomes a pronoun. Quiero aquellas. Quiero aquellas. I want those ones. Okay, so that's what it means. And those were the demonstrative adjectives and pronouns. Okay, that's how you use them in Spanish. So it's not confusing, but it's more. It's more than English. I know we have like many. Aquel, aquella, aquellos, aquellas. And in English, you have that one for singular and those ones or those for, masculine, not masculine, sorry, plural. So yeah, it's a bit confusing, but it's not difficult. Remember that you have to practice a lot. So guys, do you have any questions? Any questions? Okay. Okay, Kaya says, necesito aquel sopa allí. Sopa is feminine, so la sopa. Therefore, you gotta say aquella sopa allí. Okay, so remember that. Masculine, feminine, plural, or singular. Trend in Tampa. Aquel terremoto en California fue horrible. Aquellos allá son siempre lo peor. That's quite interesting. Aquel terremoto en California fue horrible. So that's perfect. Aquel terremoto en California fue horrible. Now, aquellos allá. Aquellos allá son siempre lo peor. It makes sense. Aquellos allá. Yeah, but I mean, that's technically correct. Yeah. Interesting. Thank you for sharing, Trent. And welcome as well. And I think that's it, guys. If you want to share more examples, please feel free to do that. Do you have any questions? Any questions at all? Remember that demonstrative pronouns or adjectives / adjectives, they demonstrate. So you use them to demonstrate something or identify the noun we are referring to. Okay. There are 3 types: este, ese, and aquel. And obviously they have different forms. You know, they have the feminine, singular, and masculine, plural, and blah blah blah. But essentially you can use them to identify or demonstrate. Okay. Now they have, this is important, guys, they have to match the gender of the noun, and they can also be singular or plural. So keep that in mind so you can nail this. Okay, that's very, very important. And I don't see any questions. No questions. No questions. Okay, so tomorrow, guys. Okay. Aquello, aquel, aquello. Aquello. You know, I see Levi Cardoso on the live chat, and he's asking, is aquello wrong? That is an interesting question. Very interesting. And let me tell you that aquello is not wrong. It's not wrong. It can also be, I would say this is a variation of aquel, aquello. Okay? So you can use either one, aquel or aquello. Yeah, it exists. Aquello is real. And it also means that. Okay? Aquello. That's quite interesting. Yeah, it's similar to aquel, aquello. Yeah, it means the same thing. So yeah, that was a great question. Now, yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, so yeah, you can use both aquel or aquello. So excellent question. Now, that's it. Levi, thank you for your question. I use more aquel, but aquello is also very commonly used. So yeah, you can use either one. And yeah, tomorrow we're going to have a podcast episode. Yeah, tomorrow we're gonna have a podcast episode and we're going to talk about some slang words or phrases from Argentina. So that's gonna be very, very fun, very, very interesting for sure. Tomorrow, I'm not sure about the time yet, but stay tuned. You can get notified every time I live stream if you click on the bell icon and activate all the notifications that you can get from this channel. So make sure to do that if you want to know every time I live stream. Okay, so tomorrow we're gonna have that podcast episode. And Trent in Tampa says these people would be esta gente. Esta gente, yes, and that's an exception because people in Spanish is gente. Gente. If you say gentes, that is not correct. So in Spanish, gente, even though we're talking about people, it's kind of singular. La gente. You say la gente, and that means these people. Esta gente is correct. You don't want to say estas gentes. That doesn't make any sense. So that's an exception. Exception, yeah. Esta gente is correct. Great question, Trent. Okay, yes. When you use it. Use it what? I don't know it. What is it? Okay, yes. When you use it. Will says, these tips are always useful. Thank you, Sugar. Awesome. Thank you, Will. Thank you for your kind message. Sorry, for your kind message. And I'm glad that you find this useful. I really like that. And that's it, guys. That's it. Have a lovely night, evening, morning, wherever you are. Remember, if you liked this lesson, just give it a like. That helps a lot for sure. And if you are interested in getting a membership and getting perks and have some video chat with me, it's so cool because that's something recent that I've done. That's something recent where after each lesson, exclusive lesson, we chat a little. We video chat a little. So I can hear you guys. I can hear the members, and then they can ask questions about what we learned. And so on. So that's very cool, and that's only for members. So if you're interested in that, please check out the memberships. Okay, and if you want that perk, the video chat perk, then you gotta get the cerveza membership. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay, well, thank you so much for tuning in. Take care, be safe, and remember to subscribe. Tomorrow we will have a new episode, podcast episode, so it's gonna be fun. And that's it. Have a lovely night. Bye-bye. Adios.